And it says we are live. So good morning, afternoon, evening, or dawn, whatever you might be watching from. If you can see us, this is a quick tech check. Please type llama in the chat or 12 Days of Love. And Kathleen, who was supposed to be our host, is presently running away from a typhoon, but she's in the chat, so she's alive and well. Hello, Kathleen. Glad you're successfully dodging the typhoon over there. All right. You're not here to see me, so I'll just get it over with. Welcome to our first free demo of our 12 Days of Love from Etchr. If you don't know what the 12 Days of Love is, it's an event we currently have going on until the 20th, if I'm not mistaken. You can check all details on our Instagram page at Etchr_lab. We're giving away a bunch of stuff. We're getting people to draw. We're doing these free demos. Today's with Amber. Next week is with our UK ambassador, Sketches and Scrubs. And tons of fun, everyone. Okay, so you stay until the end because as part of our 12 Days of Love, we will do a giveaway. So one lucky winner will win not only $30 US worth of art supplies at the Etchr Lab store, but you'll also win the art that Amber will do today. Speaking of which, I'll shut up. And Amber, what are we doing today? By the way, our U.S. ambassador, I haven't seen it, explicitly, but of course, Amber, so please.
Hello, hi, welcome. I thought we would paint if you follow me at all, you probably have seen these, but I am infatuated with blue this season. It feels wintry, it feels cool. And so, that being said, I wanted to share some blue skies, some moody blue skies, and thought we'd add some shimmer. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to use the Etchr greeting cards today. You can use postcards, greeting cards, you can use paper, block, it doesn't matter. You don't have to use anything. You can use what you want. But these are simple, already done for you. Fold that sucker in half and you're good to go. They come with these very hardy and very sturdy envelopes. The only thing I did here, some
link for everybody. Yes, so those are Etchr postcards, right?
These are the greeting cards. I just have
greeting cards. And so I'm not American. I say postcards for everything.
Oh yeah, those are way different. You would just need to seal it on your own because there is not a adhesive, just in case anybody something's wrong with my cards. They don't seal. Nope, they're not supposed to. You would hear them with something. All right, so I start with a plexiglass because with these kind of fluid, loose pieces, I like to be able to move my paper around. So I find it very handy. You can use a piece of cardboard. You don't have to go buy a piece of plexiglass or anything like that. So what we're going to do is tape down our paper of whatever kind you use. But these greeting cards, aka postcards, whatever Anya wants to call them, they are
greeting cards. I'm sorry, okay?
They are very sturdy and very great, amazing paper. I didn't know what kind of paper they would be like. Do you know which paper they are? If you were to compare them to, are they the paper of the new pads? No,
they're not from the paper. They're not the new pads. I think they're not. Please forgive me. I tested like 10 different paper types to get the pads done. So might have been at some point. I'm not entirely sure. But if you're curious, please email us. I'll get that figured out for you. I did not
Sorry, I opened up that can of worms.
I think they're from our everyday sketchbooks, the white ones, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to lie to you. Which, by the way, question. How did you place? So you just eyeballed the tape. So you make like it's super beautiful and even, the frame with the tape. Was that all?
Yeah, having done it so many darn times, it's just a matter of just eyeballing it. I like a thin frame, so I tend to do a thinner frame on mine. And so that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm running a little snafu. I forgot to bring myself water, so I'm just going to pour it in this little weird dish I have, and that will have to do.
What kind of tape is that? Sorry, just people asking.
No, it's okay. This is inexpensive masking tape that I don't love, but the tape I would suggest is Holbein soft tape. That's a tape I would get. I would not get this. It works, but it doesn't work great. You may have leaks, so you want to make sure that you're pressing down on every single side really, really well. Because again, this this isn't the best tape. So buy good tape, buy good paper. Don't skimp on paper. Paper's my number one. Then come paints, and then come brushes. But paper is my absolute number one. Hence why I love Etchr paper. Yes. Okay, so I did wet my paper. I use a spray bottle. I also use a brush to make sure that it's evenly wet. So just, you can do however you want as long as you get your paper nice and wet, and you want to make sure. So again, you could tilt your board. See that nice sheen? There's no puddles. It's not running everywhere. You just want a nice even coat. And you can even let it sit for a second and then apply another little coat just to make sure. And then you can take your towel and wipe off the edges so you have less back runs, but that's not necessarily right now. Okay, so I'm going to take my Etchr round. Size, what is this? Size 8? Ooh, are you going to make more sizes, by the way, of rounds, Anya? Any chance? Do we have some more brushes in, brush sizes in?
I was
in
muted.
Oh, I knew you were.
No plans as of now, but
okay. Never know.
Could be a thing.
Okay. Okay, my favorite color to use so far with these has been kind of a mix of ultramarine but I don't want you to get so stuck on the colors so much. I do like ultramarine a lot, and I do like this ultramarine violet that I've been using, but I don't want you to get, again, stuck on colors that I have. I want you to use what you have and what feels good and what maybe the colors you're comfortable with. And so I don't ever want to have anybody have to rush out and buy something just because I said so. So you want the water on the paper to see how it's just spreading right away. It's kind of moving. It's not going crazy though. You don't need it to go crazy spreading, but you want it to just kind of move. So I'm gonna mix a little bit of the purple the violet ultramarine in here, and I'm going to let those two kind of play together. And I like to keep my edges here a little darker, so I tend to sweep from the outside in. I don't know if that's a thing, a common thing for people, but I do like to sweep so that we end up sometimes with a little less color in the center, so it becomes sort of more of a focal point, or where the eye can go, and then it kind of leads you sometimes. I don't necessarily try to do anything there, just see where it takes me. And then what we can do is add a little bit of more of an indigo or a darker, maybe a Payne's gray if you have that. We can add that in there. And these are just kind of quick. They're not meant to be perfect. They're not meant to put a bunch of pressure on you. They're not meant to, don't try to emulate the exact strokes or anything. Just get the color on there and let the water kind of do its thing. And if you're deciding that you don't like what's happening, you can always take a dry brush, sort of like a goat hair type brush, or I don't like to use animals, but something like they have very few synthetics, but something like a synthetic brush, and you can sort of just manipulate that with a drier brush and smooth out some of these edges if you're not a fan. So if you didn't like that space, if you didn't like this dark here, you can kind of move things around and manipulate without using your wet brush. So right, this is a dry brush, meaning that you're not getting it wet at all. Not a dry brush as in you wet it and then wipe it off. It has to be completely dry, like it hasn't been touched with water. So I try to keep something.
Question. So
Yes.
After you do that a few times, do you just get a new brush just to make sure it's dry if you need more?
Yeah, and usually my brush is the bigger, like the 1-inch one that I'm using, and so it stays pretty darn dry. But yeah, I would just grab another brush and keep kind of, or you can kind of, it is a little damp, but they do tend to stay drier than I think. So I'll usually take, like maybe my nice clean rag here.
Oh, I love that. Oh my God, cute cloth.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a mess over here. As most of you, if you know me and see me, my palettes aren't like the cleanest, prettiest ones. So I like to mix colors, and I like to play with colors. So right now I'm just kind of thinking about, so I thought about the sky, kind of got that in there quickly. Now I'm kind of thinking about maybe the horizon and maybe what's going to happen down below. So I did grab more of a darker color. And if you get a hair in there like that, you just want to grab that off with the tip of your brush. If you're not successful with a thicker round brush, I find that a liner works really great to grab those little hairs. They pick up really fast with a liner. So let's just keep playing here. Lots of water, and the pigment is really, really wet. So it's really loose and wet. I'm not using it straight from the pan. I'm definitely mixing it with water on my palette so that we're getting lots of movement here. And I want to go back in with that darker color and go back into my sky. And so what I want to do is take some of this color and maybe just move it in there to get some sort of...
I'm seeing you paint and I'm holding my breath because I'm like, oh my God, it's so dark. I'd be terrified of doing that, but look at it. It's turning out.
I was initially too, and I follow this lady, and she does all these, like, and I would only get so far, like you're saying. I'd be like, oh no, I can't do it more because I'm going to ruin what's ever going on. Like, I really liked what was happening, right? So I don't want to ruin it. And then she just kept going darker and darker. I was like, okay, she can do it, and it turns out I can do this. I can do this. So I just kept telling myself I can do this. And so I'm just going to add some, you know, sweeps and wisps. So of course, the higher up you want, the bigger, more bolder, rounder, fluffier ones, right? And down here towards the horizon, you want them to thin out and get a little more wispier. It helps lead the eye, helps add depth, and it just, you know, logically, when you look at a sky, they do tend to get, you know, farther away and wispier as you look off into the future, off into the distance. Okay, so what we can do is just use some water down here to kind of create a snowy space or a white space or a wintry space. And if you do what I just did, just wipe it off with some water there, spread that out. And so now we can kind of just think. Something missing, you can kind of stand up and look through your camera or look above your picture and just kind of decide what you want more of, what you want less of, what direction you're going. If you want to go moodier with those clouds up there. So I can take some more indigo-ish Payne's type color, mix that up, and again, just add a little bit more because it does spread out right where our paper is really, really wet. So a lot of this is going to kind of, whoosh, you know, flatten and soften. And so if you want to keep going moodier, and these are not always going to turn out differently, right? Like these colors, believe it or not, are the same colors and they look absolutely different to me. So it just, I think that's the beauty of watercolor, is that it always looks kind of different. And that's what keeps me going, is because so people always ask me, what color is that? What color is that? I don't keep track because I don't want to keep track. I don't want to become, you know, a person that always uses the same. Sometimes it's often easy enough to grab the same colors and you know, get stuck in a rut and you're like, oh, I always use the same greens, but I want you to explore too. So I don't want to give you, you know,
a recipe.
Yeah, because I think part of cooking is fun. Like, my kids are very like, oh, I must follow the recipe. I'm like, well, you'll get to the point one day where you won't, because you'll want to add your own, you know, bits and bobs and pieces that make it yours and what you love in a recipe. So
Love that.
Kind of how I feel about this too. Okay, at this point, what I think I'm going to do is take a thinner brush, maybe something like a rigger, a liner, a script liner, all very similar, all something with a fine, kind of a longer belly. And I like to use that with my watered down paint again, and just add some suggestions. And these are just blobs. I'm not making tree paint shapes at all. I am just putting the tip of my brush down and dragging it to kind of suggest a shape. And that's all you need for this background row. And if it's fading away too much for you, you can just add some more of that Payne's gray or indigo or just a really dark blue, whatever you have. You can use even a Prussian blue with a bit of, you know, neutral tint or black, or use whatever you have, really. You don't have to do this color. You can do any color you want. You can do a whole purple. You can do all green. Just explore. The whole idea with watercolor is to make it your own. Maybe get inspired by other people, but make it your own, right? That's why I don't do, when Etchr reached out, I was like, ooh, do I do like I was talking to Kathleen before you or after you, Anya, I was like, well, I don't really do step by step, because I'm more of a, oh, let's just have fun and explore and, you know, play. And I'm like, oh, I think people want step by step, but I really want to inspire people to just kind of, you know, and yes,
and that's
fade
so
away.
important.
It is. And then finding your own style, but taking a little bit of everybody's style is great too, because, you know, you have to find your style somewhere. So everybody's going to end up with a little bit of some, you know, everybody. There are artists that I love, and of course, part of their style is probably within part of mine, because I've, you know, loved them so much that so yes, this is very loose, but that's all you want. You just want that hint, that suggestion, that little bits back there. All right, so we're halfway. That's good. It's good. If you don't know, we're doing 30 minutes. So these are supposed to be kind of short and sweet, and
oh, we're 15 in, so
yeah,
good.
we're halfway. We're not bad.
You're a machine.
Okay, so I think at this point, let's see. I think I'll dry, which I will mute for that, and I will leave Anya to talk to you for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure
Well,
that
I'm
I
good at
can
making
mute.
like elevator music if you need me to.
Are you going to sing it out loud? Do it yourself?
Do you want me to? It's that will be my Christmas present to you.
Yes, that would be entertaining.
Let
Can you
me
start it
just
now so I
swap
can hear
cameras
it?
so we can see what you're doing.
Okay.
There you go.
Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and mute.
Dun, 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 bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. I had this reindeer thing for my head, but I have a fake background. So I tried, guys and girls. I tried, everyone. Whoops. All right. I think Amber's almost done. This is very handy. Any questions that you have, feel free to put it in the chat. I'm writing them all down. Let me see if there's any questions here that I did not see. Everything is recorded, Isla, so even if you missed the first half, it's fine. You can watch it. You can watch and rewatch, and the recording will not go away for the foreseeable future. And please stay until the end so we can do the giveaway. It's a lottery. It's like a one lucky winner giveaway kind of thing. Okay, I think Amber's done. Yep. From the movement of her hand, it looks like it's dry. Is it? She's
Okay.
unmuting
Did it
herself.
unmute?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
weird. I did it and then it undid itself. Okay, so you want to make sure that it's warmer to the touch. If it's cool, it's still a little wet. So it's about 95% dry, but I think that'll be okay for us. So we'll go ahead and grab more of a darker indigo Payne's Gray again, something darker. And I did switch to a script liner brush, which is a long and crazy kind of elongated mop. A script liner would work, whatever you're comfortable making your trees with. Just because you might try something somebody else uses, it doesn't always magically work. I've been there, done that. After my tree, I've done a lot of tree searching for the right brush, and yeah. So I found that you just have to use what really works for you, and you've had a lot of practice. So paint hundreds of trees. If you're struggling with trees, paint hundreds and hundreds. And so what I just like to do, I like to make my straight line, and not everybody does this, so it's not there's no right or wrong way to do it. And then I literally just swoosh back and forth, and it has to be a very quick process for me. I can't overthink it. I can't over explain it. It just has to be, this thousands and thousands of practicing these swoops and these marks that work for you. Now, can I do them perfectly like other people? No, this is my way. And yeah, it just works for me. You got to find your way with trees because they're finicky, I feel. I don't know why. I really struggle learning.
I love how you just start with the basic like line for the structure, and then everything's uneven. You do not look for symmetry. You don't go for any of that. You just like go super loose and quick and dirty.
Yes, no symmetry. Don't try for I think that's the number one key, and keeping them different heights. And also, lightening the color the farther back you are obviously helps because, the farther back you are, obviously things are going to be smaller and lighter. So let's do some over here, and we'll try to make them a little lighter. And if you can't make them a little lighter, all you got to do is take a cloth and just, you can bloop and pick up that paint so it's a little bit lighter. And by making lighter paint, just if you're a beginner, just add more water. You don't have to use a different color. Just more water lightens your paint, right? Dilutes your paint. So what I like to do with the bottom of these trees is I like to just kind of loosen them up. I take a round brush, dry it off on my cloth, just tap it around to get most of the water off. And then I just like to soften these bottoms. So it has more of a kind of a misty, softer versus like, see how this is very structured and very, kind of floating on top of the ground. I feel like this grounds them. So you just kind of blur out that bottom. Just even the slightest bit works, and you can't even see it sometimes, but it just kind of grounds it in my humble little opinion anyway. So
love it. And by the way, word from the chat. This is beautiful. The light is
thank you.
Right through. Love the mist. And there's Madeline also saying hi.
Hi, Madikins. She's in Hawaii, so she's joining us from Hawaii on vacation.
Not jealous.
Hmm?
I am not jealous at all.
Oh, not jealous. Is your weather cool like mine? I think it is, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's as cool as yours, though. I think,
Okay.
south of Portugal, it's not that cold.
I do want to talk about
And
something real quick. So I'm going to use
ooh,
the shimmers and Etchr shimmers, but I do want to advise you before you're ready, definitely add some water. These do need a little bit of time to activate. So let's see which colors I want to use. Do you have a preference on which color? Let me let you pick, Anya. Do you love a certain color?
well, I love those really pallid whites. They're like that gold that is nearly white.
This one
I'm a
my
sucker for
thumb's
those.
on, or this one right
Yeah,
over here? The right or the left?
the one on the left,
Okay.
top left.
Okay. All right. Let's add just in case. Okay. So they do need a bit of water to get going, and then you'll want to, I'll show you how to activate those. So I'm going to let that water sit on there while we finish up our trees. And so let's see, should we do, so we have some trees that are pushed a little bit farther back. So yeah, you just want to make them different levels. See, these ones are slightly back. These ones are a little bit. And so we can even do maybe a little smaller one back here. And ideally they might be lighter towards the middle too, because that's where more of the light's coming from. But don't get crazy. Just do it. I don't like to worry about things. I don't like to follow rules. I'm not one of those people that, oh, you put the shadow in the wrong place. Like that's wrong. I'm not a realistic painter. So that doesn't, it's not a thing for me, but I can see where it is for other people that are realistic, but I'm not. So I think just play, have fun, and that stuff will come later if you want it to, or if you need it to. If you don't, then that's okay too. I think sometimes we get so caught up in what we should be doing or what we're supposed to be doing that it can lose its appeal, or it can lose its accessibility, right? To people like me who are slower learners. Like sometimes it's frustrating if we can't get stuff the way we think it's supposed to be. And I think that can be a deterrent
I love
too.
your thought process so much.
Well, coming from someone like you who can paint anything and everything, it's yeah. So you're very lucky. You have that talent in you, and I don't know if it's a practice thing or if you've just always been able to too. You've just always been
Me?
able to, have you? Yeah, you.
I didn't realize I had fooled you so well.
Oh, you are fibbing then, because you are good. You can do anything. You can paint anything.
We all need a bit of Amber in our lives, so a stamp of approval here.
I'm definitely envious of your kind of talent, because you can, come on, those covers on the Etchr pads or blocks, those are amazing.
Look at me, swiftly deflecting the praise onto the current artwork that we have right in front of us.
Stop doing that.
Talking about talents, beautiful trees.
Yeah. I love your animals. I think they're awesome. And you didn't even say. I don't know how did I figure it out? Maybe your name's on it. Is your name on it? Is that why I figured it out?
Yeah, my name's on it. I just realized what I've done after people started posting it. I'm like, oh my god, I really did this. Oh,
you really did it. You really did amazing. All right, let's just take a few more here, and then we will.
We have 7-ish minutes left.
Okay. And there might be little places that it's wet, and that's okay if your trees blur. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Trees in nature are not perfect, so don't worry about trying to make yours perfect, right? Things are not perfect. I do like to make sure there's odd numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Ooh, perfect. 13. All right. Let's go with 13. 13 is a good number. All right. So again, let's take our round brush and let's just sort of, since we are kind of lacking some color down here, I'm going to go ahead and add some here. Right. Add some here. And sorry about that. Husband apparently thought I was not doing something or forgot I was. Okay, so we're just going to add a little more something down in the foreground here, because snow is not white, right? So you don't want to necessarily leave it pure white, because that wouldn't be super realistic. So you can just add some texture in there. All right, I'm trying to go fast here, and we can let that bleed. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, so we can let go of that. But we could add a little bit right over here just to frame it.
Did you mix any colors with the blue to make it darker? Jamie's asking.
I did not technically mix. So I used indigo type color-ish and a Payne's-ish color, those two dark blues. I used ultramarine and I used a violet ultramarine. And so yes, those all sort of got mixed mixed in together, basically, yes. These tree blues are basically the Payne's grayish color. The sky has a little bit of everything. All right, let's try quickly, and then we can activate those shimmers and splatter, and we should be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and mute real quick again.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll do the elevator music. I have to actually start practicing elevator music, guys. This is like a hidden talent of mine. I need to put it to use. But seriously, I'm just taking the opportunity to add a reminder that we're doing a giveaway of $30 to spend on our Etchr store and this beautiful postcard as well. Amber is shipping it to the lucky winner. We will do a sort of a raffle thingy. It's going to be fun. Sing a Christmas song for us. Oh, time is up. Amber's done. Maybe next time.
Oh, what is your favorite Christmas song? If you had to pick one, do you have one?
I don't. I just hear whatever's on the radio. I'm not that kind of person who gets Christmas music on purpose.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I like to hear it when I'm walking on the street, so I'm not particularly attached to one. I just listen to them all.
Okay.
And I have a bunch of Portuguese musics too, so.
Oh, you probably have completely different Christmas music then. Well, do you? I don't know.
We have the same as in the U.S. U.S. is everywhere, Amber. U.S.
Okay, I was going to say
every culture. We have all the U.S. songs and then a few Portuguese ones.
Okay. U.S. has infiltrated everything, huh? Especially with our like horrible, trendy, awful holiday stuff.
Oh, it's cute. It's beautiful. It's warm and cozy and nice. I just missed the snow.
Oh, you miss it? Okay, we should get snow here soon. Do you get snow where you are?
No. Oh, I have to go to the north.
Okay. So what you want to do with this this shimmer stuff, with most shimmers, but particularly this one, because I'm talking about this one. So see how, I don't know if you can tell, but it's I've got it this water is still sitting on top of this one, but if you stir it up a little bit, you just want this very, I don't know if you can see, but a very rich.
Can you move away from the cam because it cannot focus? It's way too close.
They're doing that
there
thing?
You go.
Darn it. Okay. Yeah, you think these darn expensive phones, how much they are, you think they'd be able to focus wherever you want them to focus, dang it.
But they needed to buy the new model when it comes out.
But this is close to the new one. It's only one behind, you think? But it did come from a 7 to this one.
No, you need the newest consumerism. Okay. Well,
my rule with shimmer. My rule with splatter and shimmer and any kind of splatter is cover every single area that you do not want covered with shimmer, because it just goes everywhere and it's not fun, in my opinion, to scrub off all your palettes. It's pretty in some ways, and in another you're just like, oh my gosh, that's too much. Okay, so what I want to do is just take my round, I use a round size 6, and I just like to kind of sprinkle that color. You can also just paint trees. For time's sake, I'm not going to paint trees. I was going to paint some trees in there, but for time's sake, we're just going to do a little bit of splatter and call it for that. But yes, typically I would add maybe some shimmery trees right in front of these darker ones so they kind of pop. But we'll just use a little bit. And I just like to tap mine. You can do it all sorts of ways. Some people do it the obnoxious way. They're like smack the other brush on the other brush, but I find that like grating on my nerves. So I just like to do it this way.
This is an ASMR video.
No
obnoxiousness.
All right, so let's gather all our stuff away.
Look how it came alive with the shimmer. Oh.
And let's get our other tape. Boom. All right. Did we make it? We made it. 10:29. A minute to spare.
Yeah, we're super on time. Don't worry about it.
All right.
We're not going to get penalized.
There we go. Okay.
Wow, it's so beautiful.
Woo.
Can I enter the raffle? I want one too.
that would be you sing elevator music. You should technically get in the raffle.
Oh my god, anybody who
does elevator music. So yeah, they're different. It's crazy how much different just using different amounts of different color can change up, in my opinion. Ooh, we didn't add birds. I do need to add birds. So if there's anything you need to say,
I was just thinking that. I'm like, oh, those birds, that gave a special touch, like storytelling.
It does, right? I know. So if there's anything you need to wrap up, I can just paint birds while you.
No, nothing for me to say. Look at me with nothing to say.
I know. I was like, wait, you are usually, I've deep dived rabbit hole into your page and you like to talk. So I mean,
Yeah, I'm the sun went down. I'm solar powered. It's no sun in my country anymore. It's 6:30 p.m.
Woohoo! It's your gift. 6:30. What time do you get dark? We get dark like at 5 now, or 4:45.
It's winter,
even.
so 5:30.
Yeah, same. Okay. All right.
Beautiful.
I used all 3 of Etchr things today. I used shimmer. I used a size round 10. This is one of my favorite rounds, by the way, if anybody needs to know. It does come in a set only at the time, but it definitely worth the set. But yeah, I love that brush. Love that brush. Yeah. I think that's it. Woohoo.
That's it. Okay, it's beautiful. Yeah. Let me get everyone on camera.
Okay.
We'll leave the highlight of the art. All right. Okay, the raffle.
Okay.
Edit was asking. Let's get it done. So I am going to grab a white piece of paper. As you can see, there's nothing in it. Okay, you can trust me. There are apps for this, but I do not like to use apps. I'm like an old woman. Old woman. I'm, 34. Very old. So I have this. I'm not going to move this out of the camera so you see that I'm not cheating. There's a white paper here, and I am going to write a number between 1 to 100 in here. Do not type anything. I'm writing a number on camera. You cannot see which number I'm writing. Okay.
Okay.
And someone, all of you, when I say go, and I'll type in the chat so it's visual go, everyone can write one number in the chat. When I say go, not yet, wait. So when I give the signal, you will write one number in the chat from 1 to 100. The person who gets the number right or gets the closest number below the number that I write will win. If there are 2 people with the same number, we will do this again for those 2 people until one of them wins. All right? That never happened. Never happened. So, here it is. The paper is here. I'm not leaving. I'm going to the chat, and you will write one number, anything between 1 to 100, but you can only put one number. And I'm going to write go. Okay.
Go.
So you can go in the chat. Type your number.
I was going to try to switch on my YouTube so I can see too, but I don't want to mess with anything because my luck, I'll shut something down.
Well, people are like, there's a bunch of numbers. We have a bunch of people watching. There are a bunch of numbers. This is going to be fun. I'm going to ask everyone for help. By the way, everyone, you've been so sweet, so kind, so nice. My heart is full. Thank you. Like, beautiful audience. Okay, the time is coming to an end. I'm going to type stop. Whenever I type stop in the chat, that's it. Any number that comes up after I type stop will not get in, all right?
That's a cute way to do it. Good way to do it. I like this. I might have to borrow this one day.
Yeah, feel free to. I think I came up with it. I don't think I've seen it. I could be misremembering.
That's a cute idea. I like it. It's good.
I am old. So yeah, I like this because it's easy, it's fun, it's quirky, and
well, if you're old, then I should be in a dang nursing home. Thank you very much for making me feel that way.
I'm joking. I know I'm young. Okay.
Kathleen's all you remind me of Anya. You both like to talk, and you both have like young, spirited little like ways. I'm like, okay, good. Okay, she's trying to make me feel better. It worked for a minute. I was like, okay,
I think we're similar. Okay, my number is 56. 56. Let's check who got the number. I see a 52. I see a 55. Ooh. Looks like there's a, let's see, there's a 55, unless there's someone type. Oh, there's 255.
Oh, you're one time. It never happens, she says.
Maybe someone wrote 56. Let me check. Oh, we have a 56.
Dang, impressive.
Marty typed 56.
Woohoo!
Let me see if anyone else typed 56. No one else typed 56. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Marty typed 56. No one else did. There you go. Yep. Marty, you won. You won the postcard that Amber just made. Beautiful postcard. And you won $30, $30 US to spend on our Etchr Lab store. Please email us at hello@etchrlab.com.
If you need help deciding how to spend that 30, I am happy to help you.
Yeah, tell the good people from the support team that you won the giveaway from Amber's life and that you demand to speak to Anya. That they'll just forward the email to me. So and I'll get back to you and I'll give you the yeah, and give me the shipping address, phone number, and the email you email me. And yeah, so just give me that. If you don't, I'll just write us and I'll get that from you and we'll make sure to get everything sent to you. Merry Christmas. All right, this is it. Thank you
Okay.
everyone for
Woohoo.
joining. Everyone
Yay.
is lovely tutorial. Congratulations, Marky. Thank you so
Thank
much. I
you.
have to watch this later.
Yay.
I hope Amber does another live for us. I'm sure Amber does plenty of lives to go around. I've noticed sometimes you do lives together with Madeline.
Yes.
That has been mentioned here too. So yeah, I'm sure you will have plenty of opportunities to see Amber
Aw.
either on her own channel. Go and follow Amber,
Yeah,
or through
please.
ours. We will invite Amber more times whenever she has the time as well. So
Thank you.
happy holidays. Thank you for
Yay.
watching.
Yes. Happy holidays. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Amber. This was super fun. And yeah, everybody, enjoy your
Yeah.
evening or day or
Yes.
night or whatever you are in the
Morning.
world. Your morning. I forget that's a possibility. I'm
It's a
going to
totally
bed.
possibility. Enjoy your evening, your hours of wait, what do we used to call it? The witching hour when my kids were younger, dinner time, bedtime. It was kind of
Is it
was the
witching hour?
witching.
I thought that was
Yeah.
like dawn because it's anyway.
Oh, it could be too.
I'll
Okay,
finish the
yep.
stream now. We can't
Okay,
go on
okay.
forever. Two of us
Okay,
together are dangerous. Bye, everybody.
Yes. Bye.